Sunday. It's a little bit overcast, but it's still hot as. Gonna cruise down the river mouth with the family. Flick some spinners with some kahawai, have a little play around. Got Louis' mask and snorkel and flippers that he's gonna have a bit of a go, just learning how to get himself flat in the water and stay flat looking down, because it's quite an uncomfortable feeling for a kid, so we're going to give that a go. And yeah, hopefully catch a couple kahawai. Yeah, there's closed for a while, I think. Oh, I suppose we'll go to the playground first.
Yay!
The great debate.
Yeah.
Playground first and then the beach?
Yeah.
Or beach first and then the playground?
Yes.
But the vote at the back, it's been decided that we're going to the playground first and then the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, confirmed. Made it to the playground and people can't get out fast enough. We quite often come down here when we've got the kids, and you got the river mouth just over there, playground here, skate park over there. It's a good way to keep the kids entertained for quite a few hours. Gets them out of the house, gives us a bit of sanity, so yeah, better get out there and do a bit of playing around. Playground time done, eh kids? Yeah. Time for the beach.
Even longer.
Yep, even longer, Jared reckons.
Super long.
So we'll go down the beach now,
Yeah.
have a bit of a play in the waves,
Yeah.
maybe try catch some fish, assess the situation for a little bit of a deeper water swim for the kids, and if the waves are a little bit big we might relocate somewhere else. But for now we'll go down the river mouth and throw a few spinners and have a bit of a play around down there. Made it down to the river mouth. She's a big tide. Boys are getting smoked by some waves. Waves are pretty big, so we might end up relocating to somewhere a little bit more child friendly. So be it if the fishing's not as good. Doesn't look like anybody's smashing them over at the moment anyway. The waves are pumping in. Stay up there, Jared. Should be a skimboarder's dream. Unfortunately for me, I'm not built for skimboarding, nor are my knees up to it. All the boats coming in, tide will be starting to turn. Everyone fishes the incoming. Normally when it turns to head out they come back in over the bar within a couple of hours of it. Only the hardcore locals will go over it at a low tide, ones that really know the bar. Kids seem to be playing alright. I'm going to get out a spinner and some bait. Figure I might as well get some bloody Might as well be fishing. I don't think we'll be going for a swim around with these swells the way they are, but might as well get set up, chuck a bait on me hook and grab me spinner and start flicking. Kids are just having a blast. It's another boat hissing in. Just back at the truck getting set up. Another boat's coming in. Kids down there. This is the rig I use down here. Not sure if it's the best one because I've only been fishing here 6 or 8 months, but sliding ball sinker, about 1 metre long trace, recurve hook, pilchard, bait tied on, and or just a spinner. So we'll give both of those a go. We'll get set up, we'll get down there. I've only got a little short rod, but because I've got that elevation where the beach is dropping off, I should be able to flick it out a decent way, and a nice smelly pilly floating around in there could get picked up by a kahawai. So it's going to break off a nice big bit of pilly. I'm going to go through the gill plates up the top by the head there. Have that sitting so the barb's there, nice and exposed. Then I'm just going to get my bait tie and wrap round and round so it stays on the hook for as long as possible, because pilchard's quite a soft bait. And then while this is soaking, I'll be able to flick my spinner. The reason I've used such a big piece of pilly is I just want to get plenty of smell in the water. The water's quite dirty, so I assume the fish, when they're there, are hunting mostly by smell. So this nice smelly pilly, bait tied on there, got our hook nice and exposed. Hopefully the old fish is going to swim along while that's drifting in the current and just swallow that back, swim off, hook in the side of the mouth. That's the theory. I have found it a lot better over by the actual proper river mouth, but we'll see. Let's go cast this bad boy up. Got our smelly old pilly ready to go. I'll get down in the waves and give this a heave. Like I said, this elevation here is going to give me heaps of elevation with this tiny little rod. I'll just stab it into the sand, see what happens. Normally I like to cast in over there, but don't want to have the kids running around everyone's fishing lines. So this is our little spot on the beach, and they've got that wicked little pool on the beach to play in. They're loving it. They're trying to trap all of the water in there so it can't get out, and then it'll heat up like a spa pool. What? That's a bait. We're going to cast it out and try and catch a kahawai. Alright, let's get this hift out there. I promise. Now we just wind in a bit of tension, nice and easy. Stab the old girl on the ground, and we're fishing. I see that big log could cause me a bit of trouble though. Okay, so our bait's finally set. Just got a really light drag. Hopefully if something picks it up it can swim away and eat it, and hopefully that log stays beached. Yeah, what's that, Jared? Oh, I'll hold it for you. Jared keeps finding walnuts on the beach. Yeah, so the reason I run those sort of sliding rigs here is to so the pilchard sort of just drifts around a bit more naturally rather than a ledge rig, and it's a really rocky bottom, and I find it's a lot easier to get the sliding sinkers out of the rocks if they get stuck than it is to get one of those sand grabbers. So I don't know how successful we're going to be today, but we're giving it a nudge, and the kids are having a blast collecting bits and pieces. It's not too bloody hot, which is all good. It's actually looking pretty bloody grey out there. But anyways, I'll get the spinner out now and have a couple flicks, I reckon. That log's back in the water. Blast it. As long as it stays over there, I don't care. But we'll see. Give the spinner a couple flicks. I get pretty bored of this pretty fast when the fish aren't on. Old mate down there's been spinning since we got here and hasn't even hooked up, so my chances, my hopes aren't that high. Let's give it a go anyway. Well, spinning has been unsuccessful too. The bait, I don't think, has been taken, and might wind it in for a check shortly. But it's not looking good on the kahawai front. Might just have to go home and get something out of the freezer. Not sure what yet, but we'll see. Throw something down, have a feed. It is Sunday after all. Back home now. The old sea was a bit too rough with those big shore dumps for the kids to have a proper play in, and the kahawai weren't playing ball. Not sure why. Nobody was catching, so can only but assume that they weren't really there. Oh well, it was a good little adventure. Bit of a play down the playground and whatnot. I'll have to go for a dig in the freezer and see if there's something to cook up. Kill the rest of the afternoon. What did we decide to get out of the freezer? Big rack of pork ribs. Some manuka chunks burning away in the offset. Gonna go into business pretty shortly, packaging and selling manuka for people to use in their offsets and as barbecue chunks in your kettles and open wood fires. So look forward to seeing that soon. Bloke smokes manuka chunks. So we'll keep it going and shut the lid now, get this smoking low and slow. Let's go. We are about an hour into the cook, running about 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Got some just juice and some vinegar in there. How's it looking? Oh, you ripper. Give it a spritz and shut the lid for another hour. We're going to go for 3 hours smoking, 2 hours wrapped, 1 hour rest. 3, 2, 1 method. See how we go. 2 hours in, still holding good temp. How are we looking? Beautiful. Get a bit of a spritz on there. Close the lid for 1 more hour. It's pretty much ready to wrap now. Got crazy colour on it. Just got some pork sauce here, which is just a apricot based sauce I made up for a pulled pork I did once upon a time. This is the leftovers I chucked in the freezer. Some butter, and gonna chuck some beer in there as well. So we'll get that wrapped and then we'll shut the lid again for another hour and a half. Wrapped up nice and tight now. We'll shut the lid for an hour and a half or 2 hours and get some heat going through it. Let's go. Gonna whip up our sauce now that we're gonna pour all over our ribs after we unwrap them, before we give them their final grill off. I'm going to use some sweet soy, sweet chili, plum sauce, barbecue sauce, soft brown sugar, salt, pepper, and a little bit of Sprite just to thin it down a little bit. Our wrap's pretty much over. Just going to rest it now with the lid on the barbecue open. And what I've been doing is sneakily building up wood in here. So what I can do now is just drop all that onto the heat. And once it's cranking, we can grill off our ribs with our sweet sauce on it with it after they've rested for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Alright, we've brought it inside for the big reveal. We'll see how it looks. Get all this tin foil off it. And then I'm going to cut it into manageable sized pieces and get the sauce all over them and then grill them. I've just got it over a roasting dish to catch what drains off as I open it up, so I can use that for the sauce. Like I said, like that, nice and juicy. We're just going to coat that in our sauce and then get it on the grill after we've cut them into sort of manageable sized chunks. There we go, broken down. Just going to get some sauce on those, get them ready for the grill. That fire outside should be raging now in the offset. Oh, yummy, look at that. And then we're just going to chuck those on the grill, flip them over, get them nice and crispy, and we'll paint more of that sauce on there out of this dish as we go. Get a nice crispy sticky layer on them. Got plenty of heat coming through there now. Ready to grill these bad boys off. Once they're done, we'll chuck them in here, send them inside to get chopped up for the troops. Get our spoon there, ready to chuck some sauce on the undersides and on the top once after we've flipped it back off. Right, let's chuck our first bit on there. Listen to that. It's flipped. Just keep the sauce pouring on there as it grills off. Get that nice sticky layer. Well, our ribs are done, beautiful and juicy. Just got the final grill off happening on those bits. It's been a pleasure having you today. I'm going to hook in. Yeah. Just falling off the bone. Yummy. So, here you go. Try one then. One for Louie. One for Jared. Hooper, come here. One for Hooper. Have a chew on it. What do you reckon? Is it yummy?
Yeah. You
Yummy. I've already had a try.
Is it yum?
We had a pretty good day today at the beach and then a bit of a barbecue. We went to the orchard, yeah. Well,
Darling, I really want the dark one.
alright, whānau. Thanks for hanging out with us today. See you on the next vlog / adventure.